Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. Buckle up, as it's a long one, and don't forget to listen to the end of the story to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, guys, and please like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm feeling really conflicted and need some outside perspective. I, 29 female, have been married to my husband John, 32 male, for 3 years. We're currently expecting our first child together, which has been an exciting journey for us, but it's been overshadowed by ongoing issues with my in-laws and his ex-wife. So John and I met 5 years ago at a mutual friend's wedding. I was the maid of honor, and he was the best man. It was one of those classic love at first sight moments. We were paired together for the wedding procession, and I was immediately struck by his warm smile and kind eyes. Throughout the wedding festivities, we spent a lot of time talking and getting to know each other. By the end of the night, we exchanged numbers and promised to keep in touch. Our first date was a week later at a little cafe in the city. We talked for hours about everything under the sun, our childhoods, dreams, and even our fears. John was open about his past, including his previous marriage to Emily, 30 female. He explained that they had been together for 6 years before he discovered she was cheating on him. Despite the pain, he managed to move on and was open to finding love again. So John and Emily met in college and got married shortly after graduation. By all accounts, they seemed like the perfect couple, happy, ambitious, and supportive of each other. Things began to unravel about 4 years into their marriage. John noticed Emily becoming increasingly distant, spending late nights at work, and frequently taking trips with her friends. When he confronted her, Emily dismissed his concerns, accusing him of being paranoid and controlling. John's suspicions grew over time. Emily started receiving mysterious phone calls late at night and would step outside to take them. One day, John couldn't take it anymore and decided to check her phone. What he found shattered him. There were numerous messages from an unknown number, revealing an ongoing affair. The messages were explicit and detailed, leaving no doubt about what had been happening. When John confronted Emily with the evidence, she broke down and admitted to the affair, but refused to tell who the lover was. She claimed it was someone John didn't know and insisted it was irrelevant to their situation. John immediately filed for divorce. As the divorce proceedings began, Emily dropped another bombshell. She was pregnant. She admitted the baby was her affair partner's, but claimed the father didn't want to be involved in the child's life. This broke John because he wanted kids very much, but Emily never got pregnant despite them trying. So John got divorced, and we got married 3 years ago in a small, intimate ceremony surrounded by our closest friends and family. It was a beautiful day, and we felt hopeful about our future together. We bought a cozy house in a lovely neighborhood and began building our life together. Everything was perfect, apart from my in-laws. It was very annoying and frustrating that they still kept a very close relationship with John's ex-wife. Things got worse after her baby boy was born. They just became mad about him. They've always doted on her and her child, Jake, showering them with gifts, paying for vacations, and generally treating them as if the affair and subsequent divorce never happened. This has been a source of constant pain and frustration for John and me. We often fought because I couldn't stand the idea of how disrespectful John's parents are towards him, embracing his ex's affair child and loving him as their own. When I got pregnant, I hoped this would bring some excitement and positivity from John's family towards us. However, their reaction was not what I expected. Well, they were excited, but I thought they were going to be over the moon to welcome their first grandchild, and also will become more distant with John's ex and her child. Well, nothing has changed. They still showered John's ex and the baby with love, attention, and money. Even after our baby girl was born, nothing changed, and it has been a hard pill to swallow. It was particularly painful during family gatherings. John's parents would gush over Jake, the affair baby, showing off pictures and talking about his milestones, while barely acknowledging our baby girl. It felt like a slap in the face every time. One day I went for lunch with my sister-in-law, John's brother's wife, Lisa. I was shocked when she revealed that my in-laws set up their will and will be leaving everything to John, his brother, and Jake. Lisa was as frustrated as I was, because she also couldn't understand the in-laws' love to a woman who betrayed my husband and the product of that betrayal. When I told John, he was as hurt and shocked as I was. It felt like a massive betrayal from his own parents. I was furious and told John that he needed to go no contact with his parents. I didn't want our child growing up in an environment where they're clearly unwanted and where their grandparents play favorites so blatantly. I told him if he didn't agree, I would have to seriously consider our future together, including the possibility of divorce. This wasn't an ultimatum I gave lightly, but I felt it was necessary for our family's well-being. John was initially reluctant, saying he didn't want to completely cut ties with his parents despite their behavior. He argued that he didn't want to deprive our child of grandparents, even if they were flawed. Next day, I received a call from Lisa. She was crying and saying she needs me to talk. When we met, she looked distressed and shocked me with what she had to tell me. She told me that yesterday she went to visit in-laws. Entering the house, Lisa heard murmured conversations coming from the living room. She quietly approached and overheard her husband Mark, my husband's golden child brother, along with her in-laws, discussing financial matters related to Mark's ex-wife, Emily, and her child, Jake. Mark mentioned providing for Jake and how he is planning to set up a college fund for him, as he wants the best for his son. Lisa was so sick, she started screaming at him. She confronted him and in-laws, and they confessed that Jake is Mark's child, and everyone knew about it since the day Emily revealed she is pregnant. This explained so much. It became clear why my in-laws were so attached to Emily and Jake. They saw Jake as their real grandchild, their firstborn grandson, and they were willing to overlook all the hurt and betrayal to keep that connection. So when I came back home, I sat John down and told him everything. John was shattered. He had suspected Emily was having an affair, but never knew it was with his own brother. He felt betrayed by everyone he loved and trusted. It was a lot for him to process, but after a few days he agreed to go no contact with his parents and Mark. He realized the depth of their betrayal and understood why I felt so strongly about protecting our family from their toxic dynamics. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I don't want my in-laws or my husband's brother to be in my daughter's life. I've had people tell me I'm being too harsh and that family is important no matter what. Some have said that our child should have the opportunity to know their grandparents and uncle, regardless of the circumstances. John has been supportive, but I can see the pain in his eyes. He loves his family despite everything, and this situation has torn him apart. He's a good man who just wants peace in his life. John's parents tried to reach out and apologize, but he said he wants nothing to do with him or his brother, and never to contact him or our family again. Well, after that, we haven't heard from them, but I think they are just waiting for things to calm down, so I'm sure we're going to hear from them again. And Mark didn't contact John at all. Lisa is also seeking legal advice regarding her marriage to Mark. She's a strong woman, and I believe she'll come out of this even stronger. I know we are doing the right thing here by going no contact with John's family, but I still feel so guilty by preventing our daughter from having her grandparents and uncle in her life. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for demanding my husband go no contact with his parents and brother after finding out what they did? Wow, not the a-hole. OP's in-laws not only betrayed OP's husband by siding with his cheating ex, but also by hiding the true paternity of the child. It's a double betrayal. OP is right to protect her child from this toxic environment, and OP's husband should be putting OP and their baby first. Family isn't just about blood. It's about respect and support, which they've clearly failed to provide. Also, I think it's better to have no grandparents than crappy ones. Don't you think so, guys? And now let's hear the community's opinion. Not the a-hole. Your in-laws' behavior is beyond appalling. They've chosen to support a cheater and the product of her affair over their own son and his new family. This isn't about being harsh. It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Your husband needs to see that you and your baby are his priority now. Going no contact seems like the healthiest choice given the circumstances. Not the a-hole. This is one of the most extreme cases of family betrayal I've ever read about. Your in-laws' actions are inexcusable. They're showing clear favoritism, and it's rooted in a horrible secret. Going no contact might be the only way to move forward without their toxicity affecting your new family. Your husband needs to stand by you on this. Not the a-hole. It's not just about the will or the favoritism. It's about the complete lack of respect for you and your husband. Your in-laws have made their choices clear. It's up to you to make the best choice for your family. Your husband needs to understand that sometimes cutting ties is the only way to heal and protect the ones you love. Edit. Well, I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Thank you all for your support and advice. I've read every single comment, and it's been incredibly validating to know I'm not overreacting. To address a few points, John and I are going to seek therapy to help us navigate this mess. It's clear we both need professional support to deal with the betrayals and to strengthen our relationship. We're going to take things one step at a time. No contact is our current stance, and we'll reevaluate if circumstances change or if we feel it's in the best interest of our child. Lisa is also seeking legal advice regarding her marriage to Mark. She's a strong woman, and I believe she'll come out of this even stronger. Thank you all again for your insights and encouragement. It means more than you know. I'm supposed to be getting married early October 2022. It's not going to be a big wedding or anything, but me and my fiancé both have friends that we don't want to leave out. I have this friend, Amanda. We have known each other since high school, and we aren't incredibly close by any means, but we are still somewhat good friends and hang out regularly, and I would like her to be there. The problem is, I just recently found out who she is now dating, and she wants to bring him as her plus one. My sister, Lily, and her ex, Steve, broke up about 10 months ago because she found out he was cheating. She was heartbroken, and I know along with that pain, she still has a lot of resentment for him and doesn't even like hearing his name. He was a crap boyfriend, so my family has no problem with him no longer being in our lives. 8 months ago, Amanda told me she had started talking to someone, and she really liked him and everything. She wouldn't tell me who, not even his name, because she didn't want to share anything about him till it got more serious. I didn't really understand the secrecy, but didn't force her to tell me anything and just let her know I was happy for her and hope it all worked out. Well, last week, she told me she was dating Steve. They had gotten more serious and she wanted to make their relationship public to the people they care about. She also said she knew how much I disliked him and what he had done to my sister, and hoped I would try to understand their love and be happy for her and try to see him in a different light. I was a little shocked at first, since I really didn't expect her to be with a guy like him, and she knew what kind of person and boyfriend he was. But it isn't my place, and I told her that I'm happy she's happy, and that was that. Well, 2 days later, and we are texting about the wedding and everything, and she mentioned Steve being her plus one. I do not want him there. Not only because I know my sister, who's my maid of honor, doesn't want him there, but also because I don't like him, and neither does my fiancé. I immediately told her that Steve was not invited to the wedding. She was confused, and I explained to her that I was sorry and I'm happy for her, but I didn't want him there. At first, she thought it was just because my sister would be, and kept saying that they wouldn't even be near each other, and it would be fine. But then I explained that with everything that happened, we didn't want him there. I said sorry again, but she kept saying how I don't want her to be happy, how I just want to live in the past, how I want to punish her for finding love, stuff like that. None of that is true, and I tried to tell her that, but she stopped responding. So now I'm left feeling like a complete a-hole, and I don't know if I should just let Steve come or not. Not the a-hole. She wants to bring the guy that cheated on your sister, a person that you are very close to and is in the wedding party, to your wedding. I think you're in the clear here. Honestly, just disinvite her to the wedding. Someone with that mentality will definitely try to show up with Steve and cause a scene. Now I'm curious if Steve was cheating on your sister with Amanda the whole time. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. You have handled this well. It is not your place to tell Amanda whom she can date, but it is absolutely your place to decide who is and who is not welcome on your wedding day. Amanda has it selfishly backwards. On this one day, she needs to be worrying about making you happy. If she persists, you would not be out of line to disinvite her too. Asking you, your fiancé, your sister to reconcile with or tolerate Steve around is something that might happen gradually, over an earned period. But it is 100% not an appropriate ask on your wedding day. Background. Previously, very tight family, shared many holidays and gatherings. My brother upended his 16-year marriage in 2015 by taking his 3 children to Florida with his 20-female mistress of 3 years. Comes out that his small children were asked to lie to their mother about Daddy's special friend for years. I tried to be supportive, but as horrible thing after horrible thing comes out, I can only support my nibblings, plural of niece and nephew, and my ex-sister-in-law. She has been a good friend for most of my adult life. Now, divorced brother is inseparable from his mistress turned girlfriend. My parents refuse to have any holiday or birthday gatherings without all adult siblings in attendance. This means exposing my own children to horrible brother and unacceptable woman. My thinking is if you implode a family, you don't get to expect to join it. My kids miss their grandparents. If it matters, brother still is pulling awful crap, including medical neglect of his daughter, frivolous custody lawsuits, and trying to get his kids to call his girlfriend mommy. They have a wonderful mom with 90% custody. This leaves me in a hot seat with my parents and remaining sibling because I expect the brother's girlfriend not to be present at family events that include my own kids. I realize this is unenforceable, unsustainable. I can't dictate who other people invite. I can't dictate who my brother has a relationship with. But dang it, it pisses me off that my brother can pull such an awful thing and everyone acts like it's over and done with. Yes, I have a lot of anger, both at him for basically replacing his wife with a 20-something younger model, and the message it continually sends to his children and my sons. And I also have a lot of anger at my parents and other siblings for basically choosing him over me and my family. How do people find peace and the ability to coexist? What has been your experience when your sibling is the favorite and the duck-up? Should I try to reconcile? Invite your sister-in-law and nibblings to your place for Christmas. You can invite your parents if you want. See if they show up. Start as you mean to go on. This is the new status quo. You do not care to see your brother or his concubine, and you remove yourself from any situation they are present in. Establish your boundaries and be steadfast in enforcing them.